So in the first lecture, we just completed our sync SEK scan, which was resulted right here, which was giving the version, and the important thing over here was the open ports. So we just get the open port from our Python code. So let's do for our UDP scan now. So that will be in elif part. So I'll just say elif this response that is given from the user is 2, and you know that it should be 2, which should be the string, because we get the response is the input, which is obviously in the form of a string. So next thing I want to is scan or basically print is the version again. So I'll just copy it, paste it right here, and the next thing is to scan as always. So I'll just say scanner.scan. So if you just remember, this is the UDP scan. So first of all, I'll just say IP address, and the next thing is to port. So port will be 12124, and the next one here would be the argument. So if you just remember, in the case of this SYN, we just did the verbose and we did something like this, which was the case for this TCP scan, but this is now UDP scan. So first of all, we'll do the verbose scan, and the next one is SU. So if you see, SU is for the UDP scan. So now next thing is to print again the scan info. So I'll just say scanner dot scan info is the method that is going to give us a dictionary again about the methods, and the next one is to print the IP status. So I'll just gather everything of it. So it will be same for protocols and for the IP state if it is up and down. So I've got the TCP protocols. So in this case it will be the protocols, and the next thing I want to check is the open port. So now let me print again the open ports, and in this case I want to just use the scanner method again, and in this case it will be IP address. If you see, in the case of this SY scan, we have done the same, but this was TCP. Now this second option is for UDP, so we have to put the UDP here and just get the keys, that is the number that we want to get from this port. That means we just get the open port from this UDP. So if I just run this again, so if I just run from here, then let me just grab this. So it is saying the IP address, so it would be same 9168.1.14, and now if I just press 2, then it is also going to have the UDP scan. Let it wait for a moment, it will do its tasks. It is only giving the nmap version, so it is more bulkier, or it will take more time than the SYN, which is sync attack. So let it give a time to have this scanning process. So now we have successfully found the open port for this syncing or scanning process. So you can see the IP is up and running, and the method over here is UDP now. So this was the next step, which was basically for our UDP scan. So the next one is the comprehensive scan. So let's do this, the last one, which is obviously our comprehensive, and the response would be, let me say, if the user press 3, then I'm going to get this comprehensive scan. So let's do something for this comprehensive scan, same as before, that is getting this print, which is saying that this is the nmap version, which will be obviously the 7.70, and next thing is I want the scanner to scan in that IP address that is entered by the user, and now it has to just scan every port from 1 to 1204. So basically this is the range. So every here we type at the second argument is the range of the port to be scanned, and the next one is argument. So if you get any confusion about this port, you can simply Google saying that the argument for the nmap scan. So you will get this document getting all of these detections argument. So you can see we have the host discovery arguments over here, we have the script scan arguments over here, OS detection scan over here. So we are going to use this OS detection now in this comprehensive scan. So let's do this. So first of all, as always, we'll just do the verbose scan. So next one would be yes attack, which is obviously to see for the TCP attack, or basically TCP SYN scanning process. And the next one I want is V, and it is yes and V. So this one is to check the port to determine the services and the version info of the machine. And the next one I want is C, and what this does is, let me just type real quick, C. Here C is the capital, and SC is equivalent to the script being the default. And let me type the another one, which is very important, this A in the capital. This enables the OS detection, version detection, and script scanning. So basically we'll get the version and OS with this argument. And the next one I want is O for the OS detection. So if you want to just gain the more knowledge about this argument, you can simply search here. So if I see O, we have just added O over here, which is right here. So this O argument is saying that this is to enable the OS detection. So you can see nmap has bunch of these argument, but just remember, if you add more and more of these argument to your programming, it will be more time consuming. This time scanning, or basically scanning process, will be more time consuming if you add more and more option. If you add something like, let me say, if you want to do this debugging level, or you increase the debugging level, then you can see simply add this small d, but I'm not going to do that because this will be perfectly for this comprehensive scan. So next thing I want to do here is same as before to check the scan info. So first of all, I'll use this scanner object again, and I want to get the scan info, which will give the dictionary about the methods. And the next one is to check for the IP status, same as before, and to check for the protocols. Let me just copy this and paste it over here. So this IP status is going to show us if the IP or if the machine is up or down, and this will give us the TCP protocol. And the next one is I want to check for the open ports. So let's do that. So here in this comprehensive scan, I want to do this TCP open port scan. So let me just copy this, paste it over here. So we have completed our lecture. So if user presses above 3, let me say if it is greater or equal to 4, then what we need to do is simply print invalid, please enter valid option. So this will be the result, or basically message to the user. Now we have completed our code here. So first of all, let me just run this real quick, and you'll just get this message saying enter the IP address you want to scan. Same as before, you can simply check your IP address by just going to the command terminal and just typing ipconfig, and you will see this is wireless LAN adapter having this IP address. So I have just copied over here, and now I want this comprehensive scan, which is at number 3. Let me just hit enter, and it will just do now the comprehensive scan. Let it give a time. It will take more time than these two scanning process. So SYN attack was so simple that it gave the result within the minute or less. UDP scan took about 1 minute. Now comprehensive will take maybe more than 1 minute. Let it give a time. I'll just pause and give you the result. So we get all of these open port now, and you can see we get the same result over here, which was done in the case of sync, but it is more comprehensive than that of sync scanning. So we made our nmap scanner over here, which will get us the open port, the IP status, the scanner result, and all of this information that we just see over here. So you can also see the command line over there. So you can do this by your own way. So we just made our complete nmap port scanner using this nmap module. So this will be wrap for this lecture. In the upcoming lecture, we'll see more interesting part of the Python and how Python can be used for more hacking purposes.